All right, so today I'm going to show you how to use the pen tool. So you guys are kind of familiar with the pen tool and how it works. You've done a couple assignments where we've used them. You've hopefully been playing those games that I've been posting, and that's going to kind of help you out as well. So we're going to go ahead and open up a document. So I'm going to go to open, and I have put a document inside the shared drive. So it's right here inside the H drive. Open this up, open up Grand Terrace High School Graphic Design 1, and you're going to click on the pen, the pen tool. Sorry. And then go ahead and open this guy up. All right, so this is the same template that we used for the curvature project, okay? But we are going to actually use the pen tool now. So a couple things I want to show you. First off, when I start to use the pen tool, when I first begin, I like to make sure that my stroke is turned off or my fill, because if it's not and I start drawing, it fills it in and I can't see what's underneath it. So I like to that's the first thing I'll do is turn off the fill color. Make sure my stroke is on, it's set to black, and it's set to 1 point. I'm going to go to view and make sure that my smart guides are turned off. If they're turned off, this box or this will not have a check mark. If they're turned on, it's going to have a check mark. Let's go ahead and shut those off. And then one thing I want you to take note of is right now my pen tool looks like this. If my caps lock button is on my keyboard, it's going to look like this. It's the same thing. It's just, it looks different. Okay, caps lock off, caps lock on, caps lock off, caps lock on. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So with my pen tool, if you've been practicing using the pen tool game, this might be actually a little bit easy. So what you're going to do is trace these characters or these objects. So with the pen tool, to create a curve, you click and you drag, right? And you drag on that apex just like the curvature tool. You find the apex of the curve or the most prominent part of the curve, and you click and drag. Don't worry if your curve is not perfect. We can adjust it after we're done by using the direct select tool or even the smooth tool. All right, so you're just going to trace around, so clicking and dragging. It's very tedious and takes a minute. Okay, nothing in life, the good things in life usually are not rushed. Same thing with this. And we are just learning, so be easy on yourself. This corner point, I really messed it up. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to hit delete, and it'll delete that last anchor point. And if I come in here and I click on that point, it's going to grab it again, and then I can continue. If I click and drag, I can continue where I left off. So just follow it around, clicking and dragging. All right, so we're going to get up here. I'm going to click and drag. So it's nice to be able to do this in as few anchor points as possible. That's not always the case with some points, and that's okay. So when I get back to this end point, I get that little circle next to my pen tool. I'm just going to click on it and drag it and then let go. And now my anchor point is closed. All right, so it's a little rough in here, right? So what I can do is zoom in. Oops, and I can do a couple things. The first thing I can do is click on my direct select tool, this white one, and I can edit these anchor points. I can drag them around, kind of make them fit a little better. I can also adjust the handles. If I click on the anchor point and then I click on that handle, I can adjust it to fit a little bit better. Okay, I'm not expecting perfection. I just want to see that you guys are kind of learning how to use this, and it's okay. It might look like garbage at first. That's all right. The more you use these tools, the better you're going to get at them. Okay, the pen tool is probably one of the most trickiest tools to use in both Illustrator and Photoshop, because yes, Photoshop does have a pen tool as well. And I'm not liking that piece, so we'll kind of clean that up with the smooth tool. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to clean this piece up with the smooth tool. So the first thing I want to do is select the whole thing. So I'm just going to click and drag across it. And then I'm going to navigate to the right here. It looks like this. The smooth tool is located underneath it. Click on smooth tool. Oh, it released my selection, so I need to go back. Click on this, make sure smooth tool selected. And what I can do is just click and drag across that anchor point, and it kind of just moves it a little bit and adjusts it and smooths it out, which is so helpful. It just moves your anchor points around a little bit, and that's so much better already. Okay. All right, so then I would come in here and use my pen tool again to draw out the eye. So remember, an oval, just like the curvature tool, is only 4 points. So I can click and drag, click and drag. Okay. Get to that starting point again, make sure that closes up. And there's my oval. Again, I'm not expecting perfection. I just want to see that you guys are practicing using these tools, getting better at them with each assignment. All right, perfect. So what I would do now is come back in and fill these in. So let's go ahead and fill this one in with black. We'll fill this one in with white. And I'll fill this one in with green. You can do whatever colors you want. If you want to try the new gradient tool that you guys found, you can do that as well. All right, so there's my alien. Now I'm going to move over to the crown. This one is really simple. Okay, these are just, so clicking on my pen tool again, I can just click and drag a straight line. You're going to notice I didn't turn off my fill color, so now I can't see. How do I get rid of that? I'm going to go to my fill, click on no fill, and it disappears. So I can see what is going on. So click one time, unlike the curvature tool where you had to click 2 times. Okay, we're not clicking and dragging on the crown. We're just clicking. Click, 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 click. All right, so when you get to your ninja, you are going to, depending on where you start, I'm going to go ahead and start right here. So let's click one time and then click right here. And I'm going to drag it this way. All right, so this is where it's going to get tricky. Okay, I'm going to let go, and then I have to come back to the anchor point and click on it to change direction. Now I'm straight. I can click a straight line. Click one time, click one time. All right, so when I want to curve it here, if I click right here and drag, kind of round it a little bit, I need to come back and click because I'm changing direction. So if I click and drag, click up here and drag. Remember, we're trying to do this in as few anchor points as possible. Click and drag, come to the corner, click one time, click right here and just kind of pull and kind of round it a little bit. And then right here, I need to click back on the anchor point to make it a straight line. Click, click and drag, click. And I'm changing direction from a straight to a curve. So click and drag, and then I'm changing from a curve to a straight. So click on the anchor point and end my point right there. Okay, so this one's a little tricky. Okay, just do your best, and if you need help, let me know. Now with this part, what you can do is, again, I could use the rounded rectangle, but I'm learning to use the pen tool. So try it with the pen tool. If it's too difficult, then go ahead and use the rounded rectangle. So click and drag, click and drag, click, click and drag, click and drag just a little bit. All right, so if you notice these points right here are kind of lined up, right? This point is kind of lined up with this one, and this point is kind of lined up with this point. Okay, so this is a circle. It should be pretty simple. Click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, and end my point. Repeat that, click and drag, click and drag. So you should start getting the hang of it, depending on how many times you have to go back and undo. Okay. So take some practice, be patient with yourself. Your first go around is not going to be perfect, and that's okay. So I'm going to select both of these eyeballs at the same time. So I'm going to click on this, hold shift and click on this eyeball, and then I can fill them both in at the same time. I'm going to go ahead and fill this in with red. This is supposed to be a ninja. My son said it would look like an Among Us character. Click on black. And if you want to go back in and use the smooth tool for any points that are, bumpy or ugly looking, go ahead and try that out. See if you can smooth it out a little bit. Okay, again, it kind of helps. If you need to go back in and maybe pull some anchor points to make them look a little nicer, you can do that too. Okay, so again, it's just practice. Practice makes perfect. The more we do these objects, the better we get at it. All right, so I'm going to let you guys do this last one on your own and see if you can figure it out. If you need help, please send me a message, okay? Okay, and when you are done, we're going to go ahead and you have to save this because we pulled it from the shared drive. So we're going to go to File, Save As, go to your Student U drive, and create a new folder, and we're going to name this Pen Tool. And we need to rename it here because we didn't do that when we first opened it. So we're going to go ahead and name it your first initial, last name, your period number, Pen Tool, and save. Okay. Then we're going to export it, File, Export, Export As, and we're going to go to the Turn It In assignment folder or drive. Click on Grand Terrace High School, Graphic Design, your period number, and I'm going to create a new folder right now and name it Pen Tool. And you'll open up the Pen Tool folder. Make sure to change this to a PNG file and hit Export. And go ahead and hit Hi, and then hit OK.